Hey everyone, so I think we are live and I am so excited that you have tuned in tonight. I am Diane Mentiply and I am an independent national sales director with Mary Kay. And I just want to say, never in a million years did I think that I would be building a Mary Kay business. I don't think anyone aspires to grow up and do that. And so what I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to share my story about how that happened about 11 years ago. So prior to starting my business, I was a single mom. I was climbing the corporate ladder. I was running the worldwide network operations organization for a telecommunications carrier. So it sounds kind of like a big job, and it was. It was very technical. I worked primarily with men and never thought that I wanted to work with women. So I always say God has a funny sense of humor, that this is what I now do. But that job was great in so many ways because I was earning over $100,000 a year, and it came with all the benefits that you would expect with a job like that. But unfortunately, jobs like that also come with 60 to 70-hour work weeks in a super stressful environment. And then one day, life happened. So I had some pretty significant life events that caused me to do some soul searching and really reevaluating how I was living my life. And one day, I woke up and I decided that I was just sick and tired of being sick and tired. And I realized that what I was doing was not what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. And I realized that I was simply trading time for money. But I knew that, if I wanted something different, I had to be the one to force the change, or 5 years were going to pass me by and I would be in the exact same place. And you see, I wanted success, but I wanted it on my terms. And I no longer wanted to sacrifice everything else in the process because that was what I was doing. So some of you are probably wondering, well, what were the life changes that happened that made me shift so much? And, to just give you the really short version, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. And then 2 weeks later, my ex-husband was diagnosed with prostate cancer. And I finished up my treatments just before Christmas and thought, great, I'm going to enjoy the holidays, pretend cancer never happened. And then as luck would have it, on Christmas Day, I lost my home in a fire. We lost everything, even the car in the garage. So we moved into a hotel where we lived for 6 months while the house was being rebuilt. 2 months after we moved in, my appendix ruptured. I had to have an emergency appendectomy. The following month, I developed a stomach ulcer. I always say I can't imagine why, no stress in my life. And then the straw that really broke the camel's back was that my ex-husband passed away from his cancer. And, but here's the thing. There are many of you who have likely had life happen too. We all do. It simply comes in different colors and sizes. And what I know for sure is that it's never about what happens to us. It's simply how we react to it. Do we become a victim of our circumstances, or do we become a victor? And I chose victory and to get over my stuff, because I didn't want to become my stuff. And so, women start their businesses for lots of reasons. Mine was because I needed a new beginning. I just needed a new beginning. Do you ever wake up someday and think, gosh, what? I want a do-over. I want a do-over. That was me. And so some start because they just need an extra $500 a month to make ends meet. And this business gives them a way to do it in an average of, 5-10 hours work. That's it. So some women start because they want to just be in a positive environment, networking with positive goal-oriented women. And others want to pay off debt, like student loans or credit cards. And some need extra money for a wedding or a vacation or a first home. There's so many different reasons why. Now, let me say, I had no idea at the time what a new beginning would be. And I certainly didn't think it was Mary Kay. In fact, I wasn't even using the products when I ordered my starter kit. I had tried the products before. I knew they were great, but I had lost touch with an old friend who had been building a Mary Kay business. And so she and I reconnected. And when we did, I realized that she had taken this super part-time Mary Kay thing, because that's what I kind of called it, and she had grown it into a business that was paying her over $100,000 a year. She was driving a pink Cadillac. She owned her own home. She owned a summer home on a lake. But what was even more important to me was that she worked almost half the hours I worked, and she had 100% flexibility in her life with her time and with her finances for her and her kids. And she had control over how much money she earned. And so she was really deciding what she was worth, right? And not only what she was worth, but when she worked and how much she worked and who she worked with. So you see, in Mary Kay, you decide all that for yourself, and it's based upon the goals that you want. And then you create your own schedule. We have no sales quotas. And by the way, we also have no territories. And I think that's a big deal in today's transient society, and especially with the power of social media. You can literally build your business anywhere the US flag flies. And so it was in that conversation with her. She said, Diane, just try it and check it out. And so I realized, you know what? I had nothing to lose. I knew $100 wasn't going to make or break me. In fact, I also knew I had made worse shoe mistakes for $100, probably far more than $100. And honestly, you guys, what I believe we all know is that no matter our financial situation, if $100 can change your life or has the possibility of changing your life, you'll find $100, right? And just so you know, that starter kit is the only requirement to opening the door to Mary Kay. It gives you all the basics of what you want to have on hand, and it's valued at over $400. So it really does give you the basics, like full-size product to demo. It gives you business basics like catalogs and samples. And it has an amazing bag that you can get to carry it all in. It's fabulous. It comes with training materials, but I always say that your sales director also comes in the box, and she'll mentor you based on what you want from your business. And you know what? That training and education was super important to me when I got started, because I wasn't a glamour girl. This is like a learned skill. And I had no idea how to teach people about skincare. But I quickly realized it wasn't what I knew. It was what I wanted for my life. And I just had to be willing to learn, and it was super simple. And in case you don't know, we make our money essentially two different ways. By sharing the product with other women, and we earn 50% profit, which is the highest in direct sales companies. And if we choose a leadership role in mentoring other women, we can also earn commissions and bonuses that are paid directly by the company to us, okay? Now, so when I bought this starter kit, one of my concerns was time. But what I decided to do was just simply see where it would fit. Because the one thing about busy people is that if something piques our interest, we'll take it on our plate. And if it adds value, it will weave into our life the way it's meant to fit. And then it stays on the plate. And if it doesn't add that value, it goes off the plate. But we know what we know when we hear something that piques our interest. So I worked a couple of hours here and there. I just kind of weaved it in. And what I quickly realized was twofold. First off, I never felt like I was selling. I was simply teaching women how to use the products that I had fallen in love with, and then the products sold themselves. So women tried them, they bought them, they fell in love with them, and because they got results that they wanted, then they were rebuying the products. And you know, that's one of the unique things about our business is that our sale today, it continues to pay us into the future as we build a loyal customer base. And so I was making money, I was having fun, I was meeting amazing women, I was in a super positive environment, and I fell in love with the company and who they are. And you guys, you know what? We're really a company about building women up, growing their confidence, growing their self-esteem, and the products are just the vehicle. So we're also a company that takes social responsibility seriously. And I love this about Mary Kay, whether it's our pink, blue, and green efforts for the environment, or the homes that we build for Habitat for Humanity, or the money we raise for the Mary Kay Foundation that supports research into cancers impacting women, as well as the prevention and awareness of domestic violence against women and children. And the foundation, as you can imagine, is near and dear to my heart because I was a victim of domestic violence, which ultimately ended my first marriage. And I'm a breast cancer survivor. And so I'm sure if you're like most people, you probably know somebody who's been impacted by one or the other, and maybe it's even you. So our philosophy is that success comes from being able to prioritize your life correctly. Your faith first, your family second, and your career third. And I don't know about your work experience, but mine always had the company first, the company first, the company first. And your family and faith, wherever they fit, but it wasn't first. And so this was just a whole new experience for me. And at this stage of my life, you guys, I can tell you, I have harmony like nothing before. Yet I've almost tripled my income from corporate America, and I have far less stress, and I have far more flexibility. And honestly, I'm a better person. I never lived my life with regrets. But if I had to say I had one, it would be that I didn't do this sooner. And I didn't say yes to something that could grow me to make me better, so that I could make better choices as a mom when my daughter was growing up in a single family household. So back to building the business. How many of you have heard about the cars that you can earn in Mary Kay? Well, it's true. We have everything from a Chevy Cruze to a Chevy Equinox, a black BMW, and of course the iconic pink Cadillac. And I don't know about you, but in my 20 years of climbing the corporate ladder, nobody ever gave me a car. They certainly weren't giving me a really crazy, awesome black BMW or a phenomenal pink Cadillac. Not at all. Not at all, you guys. And you know, all of the cars in Mary Kay, all you have to do is put gas in them and get oil changes. And here's the crazy thing. So 20 years, no car. My first 9 months in Mary Kay, my first free car. And in 9 years, my first 9 years of building my business, 7 cars. Like, what other company does that? Seriously. And it was after I earned that first car that I decided I wanted to become a sales director. And so just 3 short months later, that was when I debuted as a sales director. And that was when I took a leap of faith and I quit my corporate job. And it has been one of the best decisions that I've ever made in my life. My first year as a sales director, I earned over $100,000 that year, and I've done it every year since. And obviously, you know, I appreciate having been able to replace my income because, you know, we all need money to survive, right? And especially as a single mom. But what I love even more is who I've become, not just for myself, but for others. So when people ask me today what I do for a living, I tell them I teach women how to live their best life, because that is what, in my mind, it's all about. And see, the great news is I'm not the only one. There are many women from many age groups, from every educational background and every vocation and every ethnicity and every financial level who have done the exact same thing. It's never too late to be great. You know, women today more than ever before, we want choices. And that was me. And I think women today are realizing it sooner than I did. They want success, but they want it on their terms, and they don't want to sacrifice everything else in the process. You know, I'll tell you one thing that worried me personally when I first got started. It was that I didn't know who was going to buy from me, because I didn't really know that many people. I had moved to Boston for my corporate job. And so I just got busy and quickly learned how to network with other women. And I use those same methods today in my business. And so we will teach you those as well. And when I first got started, I was also probably a combination of nervous and excited. But I'm a firm believer that to get more, you have to risk more. And that until you do, what you fear, you don't get anymore, you know, in Mary Kay or not. And so you can probably tell that I love what I do, right? You can probably tell I love what I do. So here's what I want you to decide. So I've really laid things out for you. And you guys, it's that simple. It's not that complicated. And so if you're thinking based on what you heard, you know, I want a starter kit. I want a starter kit right now. I love everything that I heard. I want to become better. It sounds like a great way to make money. I have no idea what Mary Kay will be for me, but I want a starter kit just to see. I've got nothing to lose. So if that's you, I want you to text your consultant right now and ask her to send you the link to order the starter kit. It literally takes 2 minutes online. And if that's you, I say congratulations for not overthinking it and just being willing to say, why not me? Now, if you're thinking, this sounds really great, but I have a couple of questions, if that's you, text your consultant and let her know you're interested, but you have a few questions. She'll hop on the phone with you and answer anything that you want to know. And then lastly, if you're thinking, this sounds really great, I'm thankful to have heard everything about the company, but my life is perfect right now, and I want to simply be a happy customer. So if that's you, we thank you for taking the time to listen. And if something changes in your life down the road, we hope you'll think of us. Or maybe someone has, a name has popped into your head that, who you think would be great in Mary Kay. Let your consultant know that too. But make no mistake, we do love our customers, and so we will love you forever anyway. And so now you probably want to know, what is the passcode? Well, the passcode is opportunity. Opportunity. You guys, this opportunity is really that amazing. It is everything you've heard and then some. I call my national area the Destiny National Area because I believe that destiny is not a matter of chance, it's a matter of choice. And I think we sometimes just need to allow ourselves to make different choices in our lives. And today can be that day for you. So thanks so much for joining us, and have a great rest of your evening.